That should be plenty of time for Twitch to stop being stupid and cutting my stuff off at the beginning. This episode of the Unwashed Asses is brought to you by you over at patreon.com/0and09. Thanks to all your mighty contributions, this show is fully funded. Everything's taken care of as far as our hosting fees. So, we're a little under halfway to our goal of getting Eyes Up Guardian and everything on public feed. So we hit that goal of 40, we're up and running. But for right now, show's saved. We're still going live. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Bottom of my heart. I can't say it enough. Totally being sincere. Not being a dick. Oh boy. Quick, abrupt transfer. Oh, no music. Some music. No music. Hands a little shaky. Slider's not working. And now we're bringing Discord levels up to hopefully acceptable levels. Because these two guys decided, oh, you know what? We want to play Destiny, but we also want to do a show. So we're gonna do both simultaneously and make you do all the work of setup. It's okay though.
Is there any other way to do it?
You always do all the work.
Yep, that I do.
Yeah.
It's okay.
We don't know how to do this without you setting us up.
Yep. It's okay. So, for the audio listeners, you might recognize we have the wonderful, the great Mezzy, and
Yay!
the equally wonderful and great Sapper Woody. I almost said
I think
your
you're
real name.
overselling Sapper Woody. But
Yeah,
okay.
underselling, but whatever.
I said equally. That's that was the more polite edit of what I was initially going to say. So, welcome to the Unwashed Asses, episode 35, recorded Monday, October 23rd, 2017. Tonight...
And really, you can't fault us for playing Destiny, because you started it.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, no, I'm not going to. I'm just going to say, you know,
Right.
this is why one of us has a, you know, crowd-funded show that is fully paid off, and the others not so much.
Yeah, because you have awesome guests.
Yep.
Yeah, you
No,
have these
you guys carried it.
high-profile guests on the show,
Hey,
and
I will happily support your endeavors with my presence. I will not have my own endeavors.
No, nor should
Likely.
I thought about it at one point,
Yeah.
and I started it, but I never followed through with it. I just don't have the time for it right now. It does take a lot of time and effort.
That being said, I totally ruined your intro by hijacking it.
Huh?
So
I
there's
had
that.
you muted, so
Oh, okay.
there's no
Even better.
hijacking anything. Except for this cough that's going to just derail me all night long. Oh, man.
Oh,
Yes.
this may be a stupid question.
No.
Are you streaming to the right channel?
Probably not, because I forgot to double check that.
I think you're streaming to the HFC gaming channel and not the
Yeah, no, I
0 and
totally
09.
am. Oh, well.
All right, well, I'm gonna
I'll just
close
grab the archive
0 and
there.
09. Yeah, I kept refreshing. I'm like, when is it gonna show live on my computer?
I'm glad one of us caught that. I'm glad one of us, you know, totally just not brag on his capabilities and then drop the ball. So we're gonna go ahead and get the chat switched over here. There we go. All right, easy enough fixes. Easy fixes because we learn and we grow. And that's what we do on this show. We learn fun new subjects and talk about, you know, jerking off with your ghost buddy or manic depressive episodes and why Destiny is probably the best thing since Destiny 1.
Bringing people
You know,
together to murder aliens.
There is a lot of people. Oh, I need to mute.
There-
Mute the There we go.
There is a lot of people.
Yep, there's
Yeah,
a ton of people.
there are a lot of people.
A lot.
There's just a lot of people. Many billions. No, there's a lot of people who are unhappy with it. You know, personally, I am not. I'm loving the game, but
And that's kind of what my question was how you guys feel about it, because you're coming in fresh. You're not coming in with any of the expectations that people had when they played the first one, because unlike a traditional MMO, which Destiny or Bungie claims Destiny isn't, they completely revamped a lot of the systems, and it's not like we have our base vanilla game and we're going to throw an expansion on top with more to do. It's a clean, fresh start.
mm-hmm.
So I know you, Bob, went just fully bananas with it and have been diving in, and it looks like it's taking up most of Mezzy's playtime, aside from what I imagine is his family hitting up Minecraft and whatnot as well.
Yep.
So, what is this? So 2 weeks in, no, not even 3 weeks, 2. What are your thoughts?
Not quite 3. Yeah, and I'm at power level 290, but I hate that I'm restrained right now. My character did everything I can do this week, and until 4 a.m. here in a few hours. What time is it? Around 9:30. So, for 6.5 more hours, my character really can't do anything, except for just have fun. He can't advance,
Mm-hmm.
You could go and be social and find 5 people to play with and do a raid.
Yeah, but
it's the same problem of any MMO.
Right, but
I need other people to play with to make this work. I can't just solo everything.
But I've even done all the 3-man content. It's just the only content I haven't done this week is the 6-man, which we're looking for people. There's a quick plug. If you guys want to play with us, let us know on the Xbox version.
Play with me.
What?
But yeah, so I there's an audio clip right there.
Like, I'm gonna have to go back and boost the audio so I can understand what was just said.
He whispered, "Please play with me."
I couldn't tell if that was Dan or somebody's wife.
Oh no.
That would have been so much more amazing.
Oh yeah,
That's what I
could
couldn't, because I didn't see your mouth move, but all I hear whispering. I thought that's what I heard, but
I could totally pull out some of my ventriloquism skills just for the screw with things.
Messi has a nice ventriloquist dummy. I've seen it.
Oh God, I remember that.
I've made small children cry because of it.
I made large children laugh with it.
But yeah, no, Bob's totally right. HSC is looking for more people. We are now got I want to say we have the Nightfall on Farm. Would you say we have Nightfall on Farm?
This particular one, definitely. I mean, we beat it with 4 minutes, 30 seconds and some change. So yeah, we're
not getting Rat King times, but yeah, we got it taken care of. We took care of last week. Took 3 tries and then we got it down.
Yeah.
Our
very first time ever going in and trying. Yeah, our 3rd time we beat it.
So it's a good feeling, because I mean, we've been a clan for
good.
How many years?
We started in 2005.
Oh wow,
June
12 years
something,
now.
June. Yeah, June I think 2005, because that's what it says in WoW anyway.
Why have I not had hoodies made yet?
We thought about it before. I don't know if you remember that or not, but we
back
thought
when they
about
offered it
that
through
gold
WoW.
design.
Yeah. Oh, I think I finally coughed up what's been ailing me. But yeah, we're definitely looking for more people. So Nightfalls, Trials is the big one that I really want to get into with the competitive PvP. Not necessarily for the sake of PvP, but I really want to. I'm into the lore, and being able to see or experience that part of the game, it's killing me that I can't.
Yeah, and we only need one more person for that.
Right. So if Malicious would quit bugging us about Fortnite Battle Royale and just buy Destiny already.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he had it. He just played Destiny 1 with you?
Yeah, he only had the first Destiny.
Gotcha.
But no, we need randos. We need strangers. So you can head over to horrorofcasitis.com. Got a link over to the Bungie clan page, email, all types of different stuff.
It only took us how many years to pronounce our own name right?
You know what? That's a fun party story we can tell, though. It's my fault for pulling the name from frickin' 12th century Italian poems.
It's off Dante's, right?
Correct.
Dante's
comedy.
Yeah. Yeah. Horror of Casitis. Definitely not Cocytus.
I'll Cocytus it up all the time.
I still pronounce it Cocytus unless I'm reminded that that's not what it is.
Tomato.
Yeah.
William Billiam. So yeah, no, it's good to like get into a game because it's been a long time since we've had a game that we've all played together aside from like Smite. And I don't even know that Smite really counts because that one's it's just a straight up MOBA. It doesn't have, those MMO elements where like these are characters that, they're our digital selves. They live and breathe in this world and can go on quests and do these different things. It's not just, taking one lane or working on one objective. It's kind of like it was in City of Heroes where you have different characters with different backstories, and we have the supergroup base, and then carries over to Warcraft and Mezzy leaving us for another guild because they can raid and we couldn't.
If I remember correctly, you did that. when you hit level 60, you left Horror of Casitis to learn how to raid.
And I had to be the guild manager and raid leader of other guilds, and
we had a lot of fun leading raids, Messy and I. And then there was that time that I had to lead a raid. I don't know if you remember this.
Raiders.
Yeah. Well, no. This one we actually led the raid. We were going to AQ20, and
it was terrible.
AQ was awful in general.
Yeah, but you didn't want to talk to anybody, so you had me explaining the fights and everything. But I didn't know the fights, so you were explaining them to me in a private chat, and then I over event was explaining it to other people. And then suddenly, Messy's wife needed him for something and left me high and dry trying to explain things that I had never done before in this raid.
I remember that because I ran with that guild a couple times, and there was one chick who was the raid leader, but she refused to talk in vent, so she would type everything out, which wasn't bad. I mean, she was very quick at typing, but it makes me, it was probably because of the stigma, being a girl and having to deal with all that online harassment and whatnot, but it was the first time I really had encountered that.
Yeah.
It'd probably be miserable.
Yeah.
I've never had to deal with harassment, so I don't know.
Well,
I used Ninja, so I know a little bit about it.
What's funny is the one time I had to deal with it is, oh God, what was it? Maybe a year ago. I don't remember what game I was playing, but it was on Xbox Live, and I just joined this group of randos, and as you do, kind of like the old AOL, AIM, ASL. And so everybody's kind of going around, how old are you, where are you from? And so I'm like, 32, and I'm definitely playing with a bunch of 14-year-olds. And then one of them calls me out like, you're 32? God, I have friends who are 16 and have deeper voices than you.
Nice.
If this is your first episode of TUA, I apologize. I'm sick, and so my voice sounds a lot better than it usually does. Because it definitely sounds like one of my testicles descended, but the other one's still hibernating. 30 plus years later.
I'm an adult.
But yeah, I can't imagine getting persecuted or having to deal with just a bunch of nonsense because you have a vagina, or in my case, a higher pitched voice than what's expected.
I've never seen it myself. Online in raid groups. What? No, that's not what I'm talking about.
All those kids, blind luck. They're still milking in the liver.
I've never seen that kind of discrimination and stuff myself. I'm guessing I've just been lucky to be in groups that were, more open, I guess.
Yeah.
Even in playing Neverwinter, I don't know if you remember this, Messy, but the person who ran the guild and all the raids there was a female, and had an annoying voice, but she was a nice person.
Oh, that she was a hillbilly.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably the wrong way to say she had a southern accent.
I like that you kind of specified that. Like, being a hillbilly is far worse than just being a woman in a video game.
Yeah.
It completely makes it different because she's not a woman anymore.
She's just a hillbilly. Like, she's been stripped of her dignity, and she's just a hillbilly.
No, it's not. It has nothing to do with dignity. I guess maybe it's because I have no attraction to that.
You don't like the southern accent.
Send all your emails over to
the
Messiphesto at...
the hick accent. There's a difference between a southern accent, a Texas accent, Arkansas accent, hick accent. They're all different.
I don't think that's true. I think you're just trying to make it up to not be on my side in this.
No, I'm agreeing with you, is what I'm saying.
I don't know. I think the South should just kind of do what it wanted to do and secede and go drown in the middle of the ocean.
I don't think their plan is to drown in the middle of the ocean.
I'm not alone here. It just.
But I have other more
I just got a weird
bitter
look from
reasons
Ray when I
as far as why the South should go die in a fire. But you know what? That's me.
I mean, I live in the South now.
Getting
so
dangerously close to that political line.
Yeah, no. Well, okay, so you can tell me this then.
We come in here and we're pushing Zero's boundaries.
You can tell me this then, Woody.
Okay.
The last time I went down south, granted it was Virginia, not as far down as Arkansas, but when I went to, what do you guys have, like Marshall's down there instead of Kohl's, or is it Boston store?
We have a Kohl's.
Okay, yeah, whatever your like big mall department store is. I remember going through the men's section, and instead of having like regular ties everywhere, it was bow ties as far as the eye could see. Like as soon as I crossed the Mason-Dixon, it's like, nope, we got little bow ties now. We don't wear real ties.
No, we have ties, but we also have
bolo ties.
Oh God, that's right, because you're close to Texas.
Yeah, we have ties and we have bolo ties, but the bow tie is becoming a big thing around here for like college students and I don't understand it myself. I hate the bow tie.
It's making a resurgence, and I don't get it.
Yeah, well,
I know how to tie a bow tie. I've worn one on occasion. They're not my favorite because they do hug a little closer to the neck because the knot's completely different to tie.
Yeah,
but yeah, they're not my favorite.
No.
Yeah, I don't know how to tie a bow tie. I can tie a regular tie several different ways, but I don't know how to tie a bow tie.
It's not hard. I mean, you could watch a YouTube video on it and it'd be golden in 30 seconds.
Mm.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it goes for most things. Oh, crap, I don't know how to change the taillight in this car. Let me just pull it up in YouTube real quick.
Yeah.
Ba-doop, boop.
Exactly. YouTube can. That's how I learned how to fix my washing machine. Big difference.
I was thinking he was going somewhere else completely with that, but
that's how I learned how to fix my washing machine.
Touching on an earlier topic.
I like it. In the layout here, it just kind of turns out because Bob and Dan are sitting there playing games, and you're looking up at him like we're doing Brady Bunch,
and you're looking over.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. I like it.
Like, this is the story.
I gotta angle it so I can look up. Point.
So that way, yeah. You need to be looking at me since I'm looking at him and he's looking at you.
Oh, yeah. So, anyways, Destiny. How
did we get up? We got way off.
That's how it happens. That's how it happens.
Yeah.
Are you going to bring us back or let us continue?
No. That's why I'm going to bring it back. So,
okay.
You've you're kind of right in that you're limited in what you can do on a weekly basis. Like getting to that, level 20 and then kind of grinding out that first set of milestones, which have a bunch of prerequisites to getting the final version. It feels like there's a lot of stuff to do, but definitely within a week, you can have one character just kind of sitting in standby waiting for the weekly reset. And that is aggravating as all get out. It makes Destiny 2 feel like it's appointment gaming. Like, I have very little incentive to play my Titan unless there's something that we want to run, like the Nightfall.
Right.
See, and that's an inherent problem with an MMO in general. Like, if you don't have that massive multiplayer, you're gonna get stuck, and then things get competitive as far as all the stuff and things of people wanting their first clears and whatever. So they have to kind of block everything or gate everything to keep it fair.
Well, I don't mind them gating the power so much, but the issue is my only drive to play my hunter after I reach the power that I can get for that week is just cool looking gear.
Right.
I have a complete set of the Iron Banner, and I'm wanting to collect a complete set of the Crucible gear for my hunter. Other than that, I have no reason to play him again unless I'm with you guys and we're going for an achievement or something like that.
And that was the thing in Destiny 1 was that you could continually increase that light level. And what I would do is when Iron Banner would roll around, because the way it worked in the first game is you didn't have this token system where you just randomly got the pieces. They would have, like, it'd run for 1 week every month. And so, like, the first month you'd have, like, the head, the shoulders, and the chest. The next month you'd have the legs, and then the cloaks and whatnot. And then usually there'd be 3 weapons. You would have a rep system that would reset every month. Get to rep 5, you can then spend Glimmer or Legendary Shards or whatever to buy those pieces of gear. And then on top of that, the gear would sometimes drop after each match. And its light level would be equivalent, if not a little bit better than what you had going. In fact, that's how I got my Titan to 400 right before Destiny 2 rolled out, is the last Iron Banner. I just hit it hard and kept grinding and eventually got all of my level 400 gear through that. And the fact that it hasn't rolled around in this version, it gives me very little incentive to play Iron Banner, which was one of, if not my favorite events from the first game. And it really, really sucks.
Yeah, see, I that's what I grinded out. Grinded? I don't know. But I played Iron Banner like crazy and ended up getting that full set. But with the random drops, it took me 16 Ingrams in order to get all 5 pieces that I wanted. And, with an Ingram costing 20 tokens and you getting 2 tokens for a loss and 5 tokens for a win, I mean, hundreds and hundreds of tokens that I had to grind out to get it.
Right, and that's the thing. When I read, like, the subreddit, they're saying, some people would get 40 packages turned in, and it would be all duplicates. They still wouldn't have a full set. And that's just... that's RNG just slapping them in the face over and over again, and that's not right. Like, you can't reward your players for that type of gameplay.
Right. Now, in the roadmap, they're talking about changing that.
Right. But we don't see definitively how that's going to, pan out.
Right. I haven't received a definitive word, but from what I can see so far, it looks like the tokens will be able to be spent on the items instead of like grinding rep and
that's kind of how it should be. Is you earn the tokens for doing different play. Somebody's got pizza rolls, and then you go and spend them on the items you want. Especially since weapons and gear in Destiny 2 don't have randomized stat rolls on them like the first game did.
Yeah, and they're talking about, I don't think random, that's up in the air, but they're talking about adding more weapons.
Which we need. I mean, I understand the game's in vanilla state, but I compare it to like WoW is the default one I'm going to compare it to, where we have
Yeah.
this Legion expansion, and there's just a mind-boggling amount of content that was initially released and has continued to be released.
Yeah.
All right, but be fair in this. Okay, yes, Destiny is an MMO. You paid $60 for it and you stopped paying, unless you're willfully buying vanity gear.
Which is
Wow,
what they're
you're
trying
paying
to
a
do with
subscription.
Eververse.
Yeah. So they're microtransactioning you. Sure, they're the free to play type platform that a lot of people went to and they're making money. But while they know they're getting your $15 a month,
Yeah.
and they had at their height whatever 10, 12 million players, they know they're raking in that kind of cash regularly. Like
Yeah.
to be the developer's advocate or devil's advocate here. Um,
The dev's advocate.
yeah, the dev advocate. How much content do you expect for $60?
I expect at least, a WoW level expansion worth, which those only come out at what, 40?
Yeah, 40, and
You've
they come out
paid
every.
so much more for that Warcraft expansion than you will
Right.
ever pay for Destiny.
And that's on them though for choosing that business model, like so many others going to that freemium version where we'll make more money through microtransactions or cosmetic goodies. If Destiny was subscription based and they released the content, that they should, and had the communication with the player base that they should, again comparing them to Blizzard here, gladly, I would be paying that subscription fee.
Well, now here's something too. You know about Bungie's timeline and contract with Activision, don't you? They have
Elaborate.
to release. Okay, they have to release a major content update every fall. Whether that be a new game or whether it be an expansion, they have to release one every fall. And so what they did was they had their game creators make Destiny 1. Then they turned Destiny 1 over to their live team.
Right, which
And
then made
the
the game
live-
great.
Right. But those creators that made Destiny started work on Destiny 2, which they had to make in, 3 years? Or
Right.
something. And
The
so,
first game got
so what
extended a
happened-
year because they didn't have Destiny 2 ready yet.
Right. And so the people who made the original content of Destiny 1 are the ones who are responsible for the current state of Destiny 2 now, but it's being turned over to the live team
Right.
shortly.
But I don't look
And
at that
then
as
it's going to become more like that,
I don't look at that as an excuse, because the development team should have seen what Live Team was implementing and how well it was received by the community, and made sure those things were implemented at the start of the new game. The fact that
yes
we lost
and
so
no.
much content with the new game is just befuddling.
Yeah, I mean, I agree and I disagree, because the issue is, since they were already developing Destiny 2 while they were implementing stuff into Destiny 1, all they could do was say, okay, at this point in Destiny 1 we have this, when they built that particular whatever. And when something got updated into Destiny 1 while they were creating Destiny 2, well, if they had, if they would have to go back and essentially rebuild that portion of the game for the base thing. I mean, expansions, they change a lot of code.
Right, but to my
And so-
knowledge, Destiny 2 is using the same game engine, but an updated version.
Right.
So
And
it should be easy enough to
can-
import those assets and then rewrite the code
Well-
to make them compatible.
But the problem with the code, and I can tell from, not nearly the scale of a game like this, but just my small development that I do for fun, is one minor change can break everything.
Right.
If I'm building a MOBA, a Smite-like MOBA. If I want to add one more thing to spawn in my wave, each wave, then it could break the waypoints, and it can break the teams, and all that. It's,
Yeah. But that's the thing.
so-
The game got delayed an entire year, so there's no reason that they couldn't have. I understand your point that they have a contract with Activision that says they need a major expansion or full-fledged release every fall.
Yeah.
I would counter argue though that the first two expansions for this first game, House of Wolves and The Dark Below, were minor expansions. They added very, very little to the game itself. You could plow through the additional story content in less than a couple hours. It was pitiful.
That's disappointing.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm buying an expansion, I want another 10 to 20 hours of gameplay out of it at least.
Well, that's the thing though. About that 10 to 20 hours of gameplay, you might be getting 2 to 3 hours of story, but how much gameplay did you like this right now? I don't know how many hours I've got into Destiny 2. It took me about 10 to 15 hours to beat the story. That's not very long, but how much have I actually played it?
Right.
So I'm playing it right now. I'm still getting hours of gameplay.
But that's the thing. Destiny, despite Bungie not wanting to call it an MMO, can't talk, brain hurty. The game doesn't start until you hit level cap, and then it really begins in earnest where you start then grinding the item level. Yeah. And I'm not advocating for adding more grind in, but give us more to do. And like the reward for hitting your light cap should be, oh, I feel super powerful. I'm going to go through and do all this old content or keep replaying these things like, PvP. Make the activities enjoyable enough that they stand on their own. That once you have done everything you have, you want to go back and keep playing. The only reason I'm still playing is because there's still stuff for me to do on my alts.
Yeah. I mean, I have not left this zone since we started this thing. I've just been wandering around killing things is all I've been doing. Mostly because I have no clue where Messi is. And so I don't know how to get to him.
Yeah, they need to add in the ability to see your teammates on the map.
Yeah. I mean, I can see his name and icon, but it's not close to me.
Yeah, all you have is the mini-map. You're looking for that green dot to differentiate, and then you just kind of keep heading that direction.
Yeah.
Hope for the best.
Yeah. But that's what has me concerned about future expansions is that they've said light level's not going up with the Osiris DLC in December.
That is not going up?
Correct.
That is a mistake in my opinion.
Yeah, so it takes away the, because essentially every video game breaks down as a Skinner box. You have to incentivize the players to keep going, and, increase the grind per reward level, like what Overwatch does, where every level you get a loot box. Same thing with Destiny, where every level you get a bright Ingram, but it gets stretched out and out. And the rewards are enough that you want to keep doing it. In this case, Overwatch has just stupidly awesome skins. Destiny's kind of lacking in what it has to offer me.
Yeah. I mean, if I had my my PvP gear for my hunter, I would literally have nothing to do right now. I'm waiting on content.
And that's what they've said in the every week they do kind of like a little dev video, like, oh, here's what we're working on, here's the concerns we're addressing. And one of the community managers had said, oh, we really want the end game to be about, forgive me for misquoting if I am here, but essentially they want the end game to be about building friendships and working together with other people and playing the game together. But if there's not much to do in the game, then there's really no point in playing with other people.
Right.
Like, because I imagine if we, honestly, if we weren't doing Rat King, would we have run the Nightfall again?
No. There'd be no reason.
There's no reason to.
Right.
Yeah.
And same thing with the raid, where there's not raid-specific loot, especially with the new Prestige mode. There's pretty much zero incentive to run it aside from just bragging rights and getting an achievement.
Well, and then another thing that needs another reward is the guided game. There's no reason to do that right now at all.
Unless you're the one seeking to get a run
through.
Well,
yeah, if you're the one seeking to get guided, that's totally different.
Yeah.
But if you're the one guiding, there's no incentive right now.
And that's the thing, I don't think that and this has been a chief complaint from Destiny 1, is that endgame activities like the raid, like Nightfalls, I don't think you should have to look outside the game to find people to play with.
Right. There should be some kind of looking for group system.
Right. They have matchmaking for other activities. Throw matchmaking into this as well, especially for things like trials where people want to do it, but it's hard to coordinate, especially in a tight frame like a window where, again, we're guys in our 30s, we have families. We're usually out doing stuff. We can't just sit and work on going flawless with essentially 7 wins right in a row of the competitive game type.
Right. Yeah, I think they should add not just a matchmaking for the raid. I don't think it just should throw 6 randoms together completely. I think it should be like a looking for group chat kind of thing where you mark yourself as looking for group and someone can say, hey, I'm also looking for group. Would you like to group up? And then you can inspect, things like that.
Which is kind of what they're doing with the guided games, but it's a bad half step. Like, when I ran it, I had to use the Xbox looking for group, and people just already have absurd requirements. I've complained a lot enough about that. But do kind of, again, drawing the comparison here back to WoW, have looking for group for raid, but maybe just lower the power level or make the rewards not as good. So you can go through and you can experience the content, and then if you really want to get serious about it, then, find a clan or find a dedicated group to run it. But give the players the ability to play the game that they bought.
That was an amazing move by Blizzard to do that, because I think it allowed a lot of people to experience content that they would never have experienced otherwise.
Yeah, especially when you consider like the big story arcs, they see their conclusions in the raids themselves. Yeah. So unless you're running the raid, you're not going to be able to know what happens to like Arthas or why the heck we were even at Black Temple taking down Illidan.
What happened to Lord Bolvar Ford Dragon? Where did he go? I want to know where Bolvar went. But yeah, I mean that's the same. That's the block we're up against right now because we're not raiding in this. People, there's a girl that I work with that plays on PS4, and she got the game on launch day and whatnot. She played avid Destiny 1 player. And said her team is just they could not complete the raid, and at this point don't care to because it was too hard. They're burnt out on it, and now they're just probably waiting for the next expansion before there's anything for them to do in the game. Mm-hmm. So I think they do need to have more to do, especially when there's going to be this much of a span in between major content coming out. Like, okay, Trials of the Nine, maybe. Oh, it didn't happen. Okay.
Right. Or in this case where we have a game-breaking glitch due to a cosmetic item, which is keeping the game from, they essentially put Trials on hold for 2 weeks. That's unacceptable.
Yeah. There's also the people who got the world's first prestige raid run. They
glitched with the Tesla coil or the Wardrift coil.
Yep, they did, and it's caught on video. He's actually saying, "I'm coil glitching." Mm-hmm. And so, but the thing is, people say they don't want to take that away from them because, who knows? Second and third place might also have done it, just didn't say it on camera.
Right.
So there's between a glitch and a mechanic, though. Come on.
Right. If they don't patch it out, or if they don't step in and say, "Hey, this violates the rules or the spirit of the game," essentially they're not wanting to deal with the issue, so they're letting the community deal with it. And as of right now, the community is very bitter and angry towards Bungie. I mean, you go into the subreddit and it's just nothing but pages and pages of this game sucks. Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? And these are the, supposedly the dedicated players, the people who are super into the game and want to see it grow because, we've sat through the just awful drought that was Destiny 1 until the Taken King finally hit.
Yeah. Now, see, if I had played Destiny 1, was a hard player, I might have more to gripe about.
That's the thing. Yeah, we've only seen this version of the game.
Right, so it's harder for us to have a complaint about it.
And that's kind of what I'm looking for, is that opinion. Is, do you guys even really see problems with it, or is everything fine as is?
Oh, I see lots of things that could be better, but I see nothing that will stop me from playing the game.
Right. Okay.
For now, I mean, we're like I said, we're only a couple weeks into it. You know,
Yeah, I mean, now if I get all my guys,
we're gonna be done.
Mhm.
yeah, if I get all my tunes to power level 305 and they still don't have any content, yeah, I might stop playing until there is more content.
Right.
And then he'll go back to playing Paladins.
Yeah, you know what? I haven't played that for a while either. That's a fun game though.
It's probably best.
I mean, it's a high res game.
Yeah,
So,
I was
yeah.
thinking the other day, I'm like, because I'm
How
watching
many
American
MOBAs do you want
Gods,
to play?
and it made me miss Smite a bit.
Yeah.
Uh,
I was thinking about Smite the other day. I was explaining it to somebody and explaining our 3-man comp that we use with our mage tank.
mhm.
He thought it was interesting.
Mage tank, mage assassin, and then for whatever reason, just this rando hunter.
Yeah, we just had a hunter. Well, he throws a heal every time he does an ability. So yeah, hunter support. is what we
So-
had.
Every weapon's a hunter weapon.
Yes.
Viewers, watch out! One of these coming Fridays, it might actually be Friday Night Smite for the first time in months.
Yeah, I mean, we've been playing Overwatch forever. Then we did Destiny this past Friday.
We have
might
to,
actually go back to Smite.
If we do, because you have Guan Unicorn, I want to get that super flamboyant. Who is your horseman?
Chevron, Chiron.
Chiron.
Yeah,
Chiron.
so he's got a super flamboyant unicorn man skin. I want to pair that with Guan Unicorn.
That would be awesome.
Literal
And then,
rainbows out
wasn't
his
there
butt.
Wasn't there one we already paired with Guan Unicorn for some reason? I feel like we're pod racing on this game.
The pink
Messi.
elephant. Ganesh. The pink
Oh,
Ganesh.
that's right, Ganesh. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I'll have to go back to that sooner or later. I keep it updated. I just haven't played it.
Yeah, same here.
Because, yeah, Destiny's been taking all my time. But I think the thing is because PC is on such a delayed release. It's coming out on the 24th here, tomorrow.
Yeah.
We weren't going to see any real big updates or changes or additional content to console.
Right.
I think
Yeah.
they wanted PC out, and then they can start working on releasing everything simultaneously, which is probably why they released this most recent roadmap where essentially PC is getting, well, everybody's going to be now getting something new every month until at least the DLC hits.
Yeah. And yeah, they did say that once the PC version is released, the PC will be on the same release schedule as the PS4 and Xbox.
Unlike high res, where it's like, oh, you're going to sometimes be a month
Yeah.
behind
Consoles will
PCs.
get it when we think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have some spare time.
God,
if
that
we
was
forget
so
to work on the
aggravating.
PC.
And that was the thing, like,
no, it's
it would
Microsoft's
come out and it'd just
fault.
be so broken and buggy, and like, all right, why?
Oh, hey, a light bulb.
Do this to us. But I mean, that's been kind of high res's thing. That's just how they do stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know that I am a terrible reviewer of stuff and things because I have this ability to just shut my brain off and play a game or watch a movie and not
Well,
care about all the
And,
glaring
and
holes
enjoy
and
it
problems.
regardless, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Like I'm one of those people who can actually sit and enjoy a Sharknado. Like, and that one's meant to be stupid. Like, but yeah, I listened to some of Zero's reviews on stuff, and it's like, he's right, but I totally didn't pay attention to any of that when I was watching the movie
Yeah,
or
that's
playing. Like, it's like I don't know. I was like, yeah, he's right, but I completely just shut that out.
You're not wrong,
while I'm
Walter.
watching it.
You're just an asshole. No, and that's the thing. Like, the people whose reviews I read and watch, they explain it as there's different ways of watching something. There's watching something just to enjoy it. There's watching something with a critical eye to critique it. And yeah, it's two totally different viewing experiences, and I unfortunately don't have the ability just to kind of turn my mind off and watch something for the enjoyment of it, unless it's something I've seen, kind of like 20 times, like The Big Lebowski, where it's like, this is my feel good movie. This is what I'm just going to put on because I know it beat for beat. Everything else, I've had people yell at me because I can call things out and see events in the plot coming a mile ahead, and it's just like, shut up, you're ruining it for me now.
That happens to me as well. I try to predict the lines coming up.
I will say, on a slightly unrelated note, I finally finished Batman versus Superman, and I was disappointed.
Batman v Superman, Dawn of Martha.
Yeah, it's like
This looks good.
it finally at the end of it, like, oh, your mom's name was Martha too. Let's be friends.
Yeah.
Oh, by
What
the
is
way,
that
here's
thing?
Doomsday. What?
Mm-hmm.
It's like this was not a plot point up until now. And okay, I am not a comic book nerd. Maybe I am, but the one comic book that I really enjoyed
Maybe I am.
was The Death of Superman,
Yeah.
and they ruined it.
Mm-hmm.
No, that is not where Doomsday came from. Don't give Lex Luthor that much credit. And Doomsday's head constantly exploding by shooting stuff. Like, what was that even about? It was never like Doomsday was so much more of this hardcore, destructive character because he's destroyed 100 worlds before he got to Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And no, Lex Luthor dripped some blood out of his hand into a pool and said, "Oh, I'm gonna kill Superman." And here's the body of Zod. And
Yeah, he makes
What
this weird
the heck?
mutant clone baby with Zod's dead body.
it's like
Like, he gets into
went
the alien
from-
spaceship and turns on the mood lighting, like, okay, shit's about to get real weird in here. Oh, yeah. Muffins.
Yeah, and it's just like, no, this was completely and utterly wrong.
And that's just it, because DC was going... They were just going for the quick, easy grab because, yeah, when Superman died, that was national news. Everybody was going on about it. And so... It's either Zod or Doomsday. Those are Superman's, big enemies when you come to movies or TV shows. You don't get Metallo or Brainiac. It's just,
No.
okay, let's get the one thing that everybody recognizes and regurgitate. Holy crap, we figured out a way to merge them into one. And
Yeah, it was really bad.
mhm.
And like, oh, by the way, Wonder Woman. Like it was just, it's what it felt like the whole time. Like, here's this teenage angst of, Clark Kent and Bruce Wayne, and of apparently Alfred's a CIA operative level butler now. Like,
Oh,
which
he's
is
been that way
cool
for
and all.
ages.
Like, I mean, Alfred's cool, but I mean, he wasn't even bald. Come on.
I've got two letters for you. DC.
Yeah.
Well, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Marvel made a better Superman movie when they did Captain America than DC's been able to do, period.
Yeah, I have nothing against DC Comics, but anything DC puts their hands on is horrible. Movies, video games, it's all horrible.
Injustice 2 was fantastic.
Okay, I haven't played that. I'll give you that one.
And then
But
their
I-
animated
only
movies
more
are
comics.
super great.
More specifically, any Superman video game and movie, you definitely can't argue that one. Those are horrible.
Oh, no. I mean, I'll admit I'm biased. I don't like Superman as a character. I think it's flawed, it's terrible, it's boring.
Well, I agree with you mostly there. Yeah.
Which is why
I
Batman's...
agree with your critic of lazy writing of Superman. It's just like, oh, he's as strong as he needs to be.
It's kind of
Yeah,
like...
that.
He's like Goku, where he's always going to rise to the challenge and become stronger than whomever he's fighting. But unlike
Right.
Goku, he has like zero charm or personality. He's just a Mary Sue.
Yeah, and I like your proper use of whomever. I appreciate that.
But but yeah, so I mean, Superman's never really done it for me in that aspect. But even I can see that, taking this dour, gloomy tone on him, that's not who the character is. He's always this
Right.
optimistic ray of sunshine, except in the instance of Injustice, where, in that alternate universe, he got pushed to the breaking point.
Yeah.
I had no idea what the story of the movie was when I turned it on. Didn't know where it was going. Had no spoilers whatsoever to it, and it was taking on that Injustice type tone. I'm like, oh, is this what they're doing? Because they had Batman all of a sudden not being a detective whatsoever.
Yeah, instead of using his brains, like, there's a
having-
1% chance he might kill us all. I have to kill him first.
Like, oh, and I'm having these bad dreams about it. Like, oh, I gotta murder this guy. And then Superman just showing up and threatening Batman, like, why are you even here?
Right. It's like they tried to cram every giant thing they had with Dark Knight Returns, Zod, Doomsday, Superman, this big, like, let's throw everything into this big pile and, oh, they're going to like it. And no, because you didn't give us cohesive structure to like it.
Yeah.
Like you made Lex Luthor just ridiculous.
Well, that's the thing. I'll
whole
defend him
thing.
a bit on that, where it's Lex Luthor's kid. It's not Lex Luthor proper.
True. Okay. Granted. But
And again, I am biased. I do really like Jesse Eisenberg.
I think the actor was fine. Like he did a good job with a crappy. For me to actually have that objective rather opinion, it was like, yeah, it was. I just didn't like the way his character was written.
Yeah, I mean, aside from Wonder Woman, was there any character that was really written well, though?
I can't even say that Wonder Woman was. She just showed up.
I'm going to retract my earlier statement and make a caveat. DC hasn't done anything good. I am enjoying their Netflix shows. The Flash, Supergirl.
See, these
objectively,
stories
though,
would have built
those are
so
bad.
much better over a season than it did in a movie that it took me 3 sittings to watch the whole thing because I kept falling asleep because it was boring and weird.
I'll concede. Yeah, the WB shows, the One Tree Hill Green Arrow, they're good popcorn fodder, but objectively they are terrible. The concepts and conceits that they use are just god awful, but they are fun to just turn my brain off and watch.
Yeah.
I like that
I'm
phrase,
watching
popcorn
the
fodder. That's fantastic.
Like we're watching The Flash with the girls, and every season, I don't even know why he starts off the thing. I am the fastest man alive.
There's another guy. He's faster than me.
Speedster that's
This guy's
faster.
faster than me.
Barry, don't travel back in time. I gotta travel back in time. Don't do it, Barry.
Now they're trying to change the future. But yeah, every single season, I'm the fastest man alive. I'm not fast enough to beat him.
It's kind of like Supernatural in that regard, where it's like Sam's like, or Dean's like, I'm gonna do the thing. Sam says, "Don't do it, Dean. I did the thing."
I did the thing. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Supernatural though.
Yeah, it's another one of those shows where like the first 4 seasons are really, really good.
5 seasons. The first 5 seasons were good.
It all starts to blur together. Like where did season 5 end? What happened in season 5?
They finally, Sam got taken to hell with Lucifer inside his body. That's where it ended.
Okay, yes, I agree. That's where it should have ended.
Yeah, that's where it did end. The writers only wrote 5 seasons worth, but everybody loved it so much that they contracted the writers, and the writers were like, we don't want to do this, and like, we'll pay you lots of money if you do this. They're like, okay, we'll do it. So yeah, it did end there.
You gotta remember, we're not just doing this for a lot of money. We're doing this for a shitload of money.
It changes everything.
But yeah, when they killed Death, that's what I'm
much?
like, I'm done.
Yes.
Yeah, but yeah, it was great. The first 5 seasons were awesome. Season 6 was horrible. I had to muddle through that.
That was the
Then it got
Leviathan
better,
season,
and-
right?
Was it? Was that the Leviathan season? No, maybe. If it wasn't, it was the beginning of it. But yeah, Sam came back and he had no soul.
Right. And he kept seeing Lucifer as well.
Yeah, and he met all his family, his grandpa and all.
Yeah, and they never did explain it. Like, Sam, how did you get out? I don't know. I'm just out. Like, and they just left it.
Well, didn't Castiel yank him out?
Yeah, eventually you find that out. I don't know how far have you watched this?
Blame season 12.
Oh, okay. So you're right there then.
I'm a season unwatched.
That's the thing, though. Exactly, like after like season 5, it all starts to blur together. Like, okay, we took out all the Christian pantheon. What other religions can we just start murdering?
Yes.
Well, and then they had to go back to the Christian pantheon with, God being Chuck. Mm-hmm. I think it was named Chuck.
Yeah. It was
Turns out the guy pretending to be Metatron.
Yeah. But no, it was. That's just kind of how the DC shows are. Like, all right, we had the same basic thing. We're gonna beat it like a horse, and we're gonna ride this thing as long as we can. They don't really do anything new or unique. Like, literally every season of The Flash is exactly the same. I love Iris. I gotta be with Iris. I gotta travel back in time to save my mom. Hey, there's this other guy who's faster than me. I gotta figure out how to be faster. There's this guy who's pretending to be our friend, but he's really the big bad. And all of our problems could be resolved if we just talk to one another. But we're gonna keep secrets.
I told my wife today. I said, I'm getting tired of this Wells. I can't wait for the next season to see who the next Wells is. Because there's one every season.
Mm-hmm. Well, there has to be.
That's the thing. Like, the guy who plays Wells is just stupid good. He is too talented for that show.
He is in this. I saw him in something the other day, and he was horrible.
Really?
Yeah, Van Helsing. The
one with Wolverine.
No. The series.
Oh,
Van
they made
Helsing,
a series. Well, I can tell you right off the bat, a Van Helsing TV series isn't going to be good.
Yeah, I think it's Vanessa. Her name is Vanessa something.
Vanessa Van Helsing or Vanessa Helsing?
Yeah. Well, it turns out to be Vanessa Van Helsing is her name. She's descended from
Van Cleef.
No, she's descended from
check out
the Van Helsing. But yeah, he was in there and he was doing this accent, and the accent kept changing.
Oh.
At first, it sounded like this almost Irish accent, and then it changed to like this Italian type accent, and it just kept.
That is wonderful.
Changing.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing. The only thing is I've seen him in when he had his own series, Chuck, and then when he played JD's bigger or older brother in Scrubs.
Yeah. Now I haven't seen Chuck. I should watch that because I like him in Flash.
I'm sorry, not Chuck. Chuck was the one about the guy who had superpowers.
Okay.
He worked at Geek Squad.
Spy.
What was the one where he came back home after being away for a really long time, and he ran a bowling alley? He was taking care of his parents.
I'm getting an IMDb now.
Yeah.
I don't know this show.
It was on ABC or something for several seasons.
Oh.
Flash. Let's find.
I swear to God it was Chuck, but I know that's wrong. Great podcast in here. Everybody goes quiet while they check IMDb.
Tom Cavanaugh. Let's see here.
Yeah.
He's known for Flash. Ed,
that was it.
Yeah. There we go.
Ed was one of those shows I always watched with, like Everwood, all those WB classics, One Tree Hill, back when they had like Michigan J. Frog as like the mascot and a bunch of pretty young people falling in young pretty love.
Dawson's Creek.
Yep, that was right when they first started rolling out WB.
Yeah.
And he had Joey.
All the angsty high school days.
And his best friend with the giant weird butt forehead, who then went on to do good things in Fringe with his giant butt forehead.
All right, I'm also linking something in Discord to that Van Helsing. It's on IMDb, or it's on Netflix.
Fringe was another one of those shows that went on way too long. They should have ended it when they got into that parallel universe and they're talking to like two versions of Leonard Nimoy. Like, no, you guys should have been done after like 2 seasons, because kind of like Supernatural, they stopped doing the Monster of the Week episode, and that's what I like, especially in shows like, Flash. You don't necessarily have to watch them in order. Sure, there's an overarching story, but I just want to see you guys like hunt a Wendigo or punch a Shark Man in the face. Don't make it too complicated.
See, that's one thing I do like about the first 5 seasons of Supernatural. The very first, they've got a very vague, overarching story. They got to look for their dad.
Mm-hmm.
And then
they're just murdering things along the way.
Yeah,
right.
Like, we got to pay rent, so we got to kill this vampire this week.
But
like, we have all the money we could ever need. Like, no,
well,
don't have all the money.
No, what I like is that they used that to kind of introduce the story in that first season, and I like that they then went into the story in depth. You got to learn the characters and what they do and their background, and then they went into the story.
Kind of like when they put Sam in that Wild West town with all the other like Devil's Children to figure out their powers.
But I actually liked that, the way they handled that. But again, it got bad after season 6, and then it got better again. Never as good as the original 5 seasons.
No.
But it's definitely watchable. Keeps my interest. I do continue to watch it.
I really like Crowley. I like the episode that he makes it in.
Badger and Firefly.
I was gonna say I like him better in Firefly.
Has he done anything else? Or is he just like sitting on all these checks coming from Supernatural? He's like, I don't have to work again.
He might have done something else. I'm going back to IMDb. I've seen him on other things. Let's see here.
I probably have, but I don't watch very much TV. Surprisingly, I mean, I don't do much with myself, but I don't watch a lot of TV.
I do plenty with myself while I watch TV.
See, never mind.
Okay, so he is known for Supernatural, In the Name of the Father, Wesley Snipes' Unstoppable. That's a he's known for Supernatural, and then a 1993 movie and 2004 movie. No, I don't understand why Firefly isn't at the top of that list.
Unless he wasn't credited.
Maybe it's only 13 episodes.
That's true.
He was damn good 13 episodes, though.
Oh, yeah. And they were played out of order. And it still got a movie.
Sure. I mean, hey.
The movie was more because the series was canceled.
I don't know what movie you speak of.
Serenity? Really?
Yeah. Never heard of it.
Surely you've watched that.
Something that just needed run through the wash a little more.
Not ringing a bell.
Yeah, you know what, he played a lot of one episode appearances in a lot of TV shows.
Okay, so he's a bit actor.
Yeah, kinda. And he went by a different name back then as well. Well, no, never mind. He's always been Mark Shepard, but he used to go by Mark A. Shepard.
Oh.
he dropped the A after a while.
Yes, waiting for Crowley in Supernatural. And then when he got it, he's like, I don't need that A anymore. And just like that, we're already over an hour, so that's going to wrap things up here abruptly, because I want to play Destiny 2.
Yes.
Wait, what about the barber?
Oh,
we never got to any of your topics.
No, it's totally okay. Unless you guys just want to like do a speed run here of what monster would you want to fuck the least?
Oh, I know exactly which one. Because it was a TV show. Well, no, actually on.
Oh, okay. That one's higher on your list, huh?
Well, yes, because there's one on a movie called Teeth, where a woman has teeth in her female parts and cuts off your member when you do that with her. So
she's got other holes.
True. I'm like,
you just get a muzzle and go from behind.
But so yeah, that would be on the bottom of the
Stop
list
being
for me.
picky.
Really? Wow. So you'd rather throw down with the creature from the Black Lagoon than that thing?
Well, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't lose anything with the creature.
I don't know.
That's what
Maybe
I'm
he's got a
saying.
lamprey up
Something.
there.
Maybe it's not what you lose, but it's what you gain.
Right. Like, okay.
You'll never wash that fungus off.
Would you rather throw down with Dwayne The Rock Johnson as the Scorpion King when he's in that terrible CGI scorpion form?
I hate sand. It's coarse and it gets everywhere.
That's not the only thing that's getting everywhere. So you're still sticking with Teeth Girl?
Yeah, yeah,
Really?
I think so.
You'd put it in
Yeah.
a weird wrestler scorpion body before you'd put it in her.
Yeah, it sounds so bad when you say it that way.
Who knows what crazy Egyptian curses and, you know, poisons, or venoms, I should say, he has going on.
Yeah,
Plus,
but
you're
it's not
just
a guarantee.
you're
See,
going
who
at it,
knows?
and you just see the Rock kind of like slowly look behind and get you
Raising
right.
that one eyebrow
Yeah, he raises the eyebrow, you
Raises
see
the-
the people's
raises
eyebrow.
the people's eyebrow.
is cooking.
Yeah. You're pulling on the giant scorpion tail, and he's just kind of really getting into it. So you're telling me you want that experience over?
Okay, when you're talking about horrible and horrible,
Like, I know you've
yeah.
put your member in holes that have teeth before, and you've seemed to have come out okay. But for whatever reason, you're still like, no, Rock in the scorpion body.
You're making this sound so horrible.
Well, I don't think you're critically thinking about it. You're just kind of taking the, well, I might lose my willy, so I guess that's the worst one. There's worse things than losing your junk.
There's no might about it. You will. That's the thing.
I don't know. Maybe she can control it. Maybe
Well,
maybe you
she
give her
can.
that good loving, and she's like, oh, yeah, no, this is the one.
Yeah, you just gotta try harder.
Well, she went in the movie. She victim, you know, who found out she could defend herself to predator.
Little foreplay goes a long way. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly. Or you get one of those boxer mouth guards, and just you're good to go. Okay. So you've seen not It. You know, we'll go with It then. So you'd rather go to town with a giant cosmic space spider that dresses up like a clown.
I think you should move on to Messi's answer.
No, I think we're at our time. This is it.
All right, so we'll end with what Pop would have consensual relations with, and what do you got to promote there, buddy?
Hey, I'm gonna talk about my YouTube channel for just a second. I'm really excited about my YouTube channel. I'm able to get high definition 20 frames per second now on my videos. If you haven't seen them, go check it out. Sapper Woody on YouTube. I've released a video a day for the last 9 days. Like I said, I'm really excited about it. I'm going to continue that trend. They're all Destiny 2 right now. You can see me play through the main story.
So
And
there's no appearances of The Rock in these videos?
not yet. maybe later.
No, that's awesome.
I do have WWE. But yeah, so I'm excited about it. So go check that out.
Right on. Anywhere else that people can find you, follow what you're doing?
Well, I've got my Twitter, same handle, Sapper Woody. Twitter at Sapper Woody. So if people want to head over there and give me a follow, I tweet out at least once a week whenever we play Friday Night Smite. Sometimes more than that. So.
Right on. All right, what about you, Mezzy? What do you got to plug?
I'm on Zero's coattails for all of this. So just check out what I do with these guys on our HFC gaming. We'll see. Maybe I'm trying to get back to doing some Thursday shows for the Filthy Casual, but as you can tell, it's still pretty casual.
Fair enough.
So you can catch most of my epicness right here in these kind of things.
Right on. Right on. Alrighty. Well, that's going to wrap things up here. Of course, you can always catch the shows when I decide to do them in a timely fashion. Mondays at 9 p.m. Central. The only time zone that matters. And then, of course, we'll try to kick out other projects throughout the week. But beyond that, we will see you next week.
I can feel the end, it's drawing near. It will soon be here. Oh, that much is clear. So shut the doors and turn off the lights. Let us sleep tonight. Let us huddle in the dark. Oh, my lover, you are beautiful. But that beauty comes at such a price. And I know that you'll soon disappear, like the dark and the night.
This show is part of the HFC Gaming Network. Get more at horrorofcasitis.com.